Hello everyone, this is Adira Baltana from Notify Information Center. Yes, this is just a small screencast to also support tertiary institutions. A couple of days ago, yeah, I did one for primary, and secondary schools, and I also just thought, okay, there might also be, tertiary institutions that are also looking for the best way, they can leverage on, Google tools for teaching and learning, most importantly, GSUIT for education. So the screencast is about what to do next after you get the GSUIT for education approval or upgrade from Google. So what I mean by that is once you sign up, you're going to get an email like this. So let me just, move down to a PC. So you're going, okay, this was the one that was sent. Yeah, to me, you're going to have something like, welcome to, Google for education, or sorry, GSUIT for education. We reviewed your application and are excited to upgrade your domain. So they give you some resources that are very useful. Yes, once you click on the first one, you're going to have something like this, that says GSUIT for education quick start IT setup guide. And, if you can follow it step by step, I think everything here is pretty straight and smooth. Yeah, but I noticed for a couple of maybe IT admins and people that might want to do this behind the scene, maybe this video might be useful for you to demystify one or two things, So I really want to focus on this part of the organizational unit because it's actually the structure of how you set up, initially that shows how efficient, your setup might be moving forward. So let me jump back to my presentation. So yeah, basically, yes. So this is the outline. Yeah, I just showed us the welcome email. So yeah, we're going to go through the Google Admin Console and also, yes, how you will know if you upgraded or not, how you validate the upgrade and setting up the organizational structure, then also creation of users, notification of users, and then just a small difference between, GSUIT for education and Google Classroom. Yes. So starting. Yeah. So yeah, before you do this, maybe the ICT or IT or actually the unit in charge of technology for the institution, you just need to have like a round table talk on how best you intend to go with this, because this suite of applications are actually tools that you could also you can actually leverage them now, to move your curriculum and things moving forward. Because of course the pandemic has, of course, it looks like it has come to stay, and schools have been shut down all over the planet. There are some schools really that have actually started things online and all, but for schools that don't have those huge manpower and resources, I think I can walk you through, I think this video will guide you, but basically what you need to do first is you're going to have, some kind of face-to-face, roundtable talk with your team and moving forward. Yes. So setting up the organizational structure, right. Now we're going to be using the role-oriented structure. This works for the scenario. Let me show us this once again. Now, if you go through this document, this quick start IT setup guide, right? So if I scroll down, let me go to this part. If you notice, here it says decide on organizational structure. Then actually there's a video here. Yes. Let me see if the video will run. But basically, before the video starts, let me just read this part. It says organizational unit lets you segment your user population and give different services, settings, and permissions to different users. The well-designed structure is critical to effectively and flexibly manage your GSUIT for education account. So yeah, but if you notice now here, you have the organization-oriented structure here, right? And if you notice up here, you have the role-oriented structure. So the role here oriented structure means it says in a role-oriented structure, first level organizational units are organized by role, such as students and teachers. This structure works well if you need, to define policies and settings independently of a district or school, and if simple maintenance is a priority. So this is really, the simple approach. Yeah, this is the one I recommend anyway because it looks fun. So let's check out this video Yes, there's a video on yes the unit. So let's take a look at it.
Organizational units,
Organizational
or
units, or
OUs, let you
OUs, let you
segment your
segment
user
your user
population
population
and give different services, settings, and permissions to different users. A well-designed organizational unit structure is critical to effectively and flexibly managing your G Suite for Education account. Take some time to consider the best organizational structure for your organization, as change.
Okay, so yeah, just wanted to show us that basically. So this is what we're going to be doing, and yes, let's see how it works. Yes. So here, we start with the root. Yeah, and for me, this is like like a basic setup. You can actually tweak it to suit you, but looking at the best way you can actually address this, you can have just like three, trees here, right, from the root. See this root like a tree. This is the root of the tree, and the tree will grow, and you have it grow again. Something like that. So here you have unit or office or center. So this anything that so on this category you have things that can be categorized under this should be here. Then you can have the faculty or college, like college of medicine, the faculty of agri, science and tech, and the rest. Then you could have like guest. Very simple. Moving forward, right now. So what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about each one of them, right? Then see how best, and also how to create it, right? Basically. So under the unit office or center, now you can have like the visitor or the chancellor of the school, so something like that. So this would like be like his account, visitor at notifyacademy.sa.ng. Okay, mind you, let me correct something. I understand that for tertiary institutions, basically you're gonna have something like this. So it's supposed to be, maybe if this is like a university, so you're gonna maybe notify academy or an I institution, maybe .edu.ng. I get that. So in this case, the academy I'm using right now is actually registered with the SCH TLD which is actually notify academy .sch.ng, right? So this TLD, sorry, SLD, second level domain, right, is for tertiary institutions, and this is for primary, secondary schools, and other training centers, basically, yeah. So this is the one I'm using, but I understand this is how yours will look, from my illustration, yes. So, for instance, so you can have that for like the visitor, the board of trustees, right? Yeah. Then governing council, the vice chancellor's office, people there, registry, the finance unit, the library, you talk about centers, basically, and maybe other units. So you categorize them under like the first category, as I said. So move forward one more step. So like for the faculty or college, so you could have faculty A, faculty B, faculty C, faculty D, and college, something like you have it in this order, and this is how the account will look. Then also moving forward, you will now see that of course every faculty will have like a dean, right? So maybe this will be like for the dean's office, and maybe one or two couple of staff underneath there, so it will be easier for you to manage, right? Then also, group of departments are also always under faculty, right? So you could have departments here. Now, departments, of course, will have a head, like maybe this is for like the head of department, right? And then the staff, all of them will have, their accounts under this category of this tree here. Then, the office here. Then, the staff members, whereby the HOD and the rest. Then also the students on that department, you have them here. Then you can have something that, further, categorize them into levels, depending on where they are, on their various journey, right? Then the other one is like the guest structure, where you have like something like this for the guest, maybe if you have I prefer guest just for you, in case you want to have different policies for them, and also for other guests. So this is more like the basics of the structure basically. So I want to show us how to we can get this done to create this, and also so for us to get there, we're going to go to our Google Admin Console. So these are Google Admin Console here. Basically, I'm using the one for Notify Academy, yeah, and this might be, okay, let me first tell us how to get to the Google Admin Console. So if I want to get to your Google Admin Console, you do admin@google.com, right? Admin, yes, .google.com. That's how you get to the Google Admin Console. Yeah, you could put the HTTPS here if you want. Yeah, yes. So this is how you get to your Google Admin Console, basically. And it might be a good, opportunity for some of us to check out, Notify Academy, right? .sh.ng. This is where I'll be putting my resources for, trainings, maybe things I'm using to support schools, community, moving forward, right? You can check it out. Yeah, it's a beautiful site. So let me show us that. Notify, Academy. Yeah, .sh.ng. So yeah, you could just take a look at it. There are already some resources on it, something like that. And yeah, we're working with Army Synapse, SD Abuja, just take your time to work through it. So this is the Google Admin Console. Once you do that, you get in here. This is the dashboard. I know many of us are familiar with this. So you go to your top left here, where you have your main menu. You click, right? Then you're going to come down, then you go to directory, right? Under directory, you go to the third item here, which is organizational unit directory. Step 3, you click on the third item here, which is called organizational unit. So you get here. So now looking at this, this is how you create the new organizational unit, but ideally this is our root here, right? If you, okay, let me make this screen, divide the screen a bit, so that it will be easier for us to basically, yeah, close this. Okay, cool. So yes, let me break this now. Okay, so we're gonna have, yes, the presentation here on the left. Okay, cool. So can I even do that? Okay, that's fine. So you can see here we have roots, right? So this root here signifies, something like this Notify Academy here, right? So we need to create this unit, faculty, guest to be, they should be under the root. So we're going to come here, right? You can see this plus sign here. So click on it. So we're going to call this one unit or office, or center. Yeah, right. So we could just say something like organizational unit for, yeah, just to have something here that will describe it. Yes, organizational unit. Yes, for units. Okay, something like that. So once you have this, you just click create. So you have the first one. Yes, we should be there. Then you come back here again. For you to know that the first one is there, and it's not coming out. Let me just refresh for us to be sure. Yes, you can see it's under this tree. So the next one will be underneath it also here. So we're gonna have here we're gonna have faculty or college, right? So like OU, sorry, I think I didn't cover the last one. Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna say OU. OU for faculty, a college, something like that. Yeah, okay, let's keep this here. So we'll click create. Then we'll go to the third one, when, let's be sure this is fine too. We can refresh that. Okay, we're good. Then we'll go to the third one here. We're gonna click guest. Then we do, OU for guests. So we can now say create. Right. So once you do that, we're done with the spot here, basically, right? So what you now need to do next is, move to the next one, which is, let me click here. We now, maybe for example, we hit on yes, unit or office. So you can now, come down here, to be under this, right? So you come here and click on this, basically. So we said we're going to create for visitor, visitor, right? Chancellor, right? So we said it right. Invalid organizational. Oh, sorry. I think yeah. Yes. Let me say R, right? Okay. Yeah. It wasn't taking the forward slash, right? It's an error. Yeah. So we're gonna put this here now. Basically. Then for yeah, let me just copy this. So what I'm just saying is you can have everything go in this order, right? So you're gonna have everything here, basically, So let me refresh. I'm not going to type all. It's just to give us an idea of how we can move things forward, right? You can have the whole U and also to be easier for you to manage moving forward. So like for faculties, and the colleges, you could have, come here now. You can now click on this and click and say faculty A. So here we're talking about OU so we say organizational unit for faculty A, like that. So you can now go in that order, like to create everything, and eventually to give you the opportunity where you get to when you're creating names, OU, for faculty A, right? Okay. I'll just go here, right? So we just say create. So basically, this looks pretty fine. So let me refresh for you to see that. So you do the tree structure, you can see it, it will be easier for you to manage, moving forward, So let's say in this case now, let me move on with the presentation. So let's assume, slide. Yeah, let's say you're done creating everything, right? So creation of users, you now want to create users. So let me show us the methods you could use that can help you if you're dealing with a highly populated, school institution to reduce error and the rest. So you could have something like the office and position, something like this, director, more like the VC and the rest. And you can also have for staff members, others. You could have this, the first name, the last name, for you to have everything. It's going to look, straightforward and consistent, and in a way, okay, it's fine basically. Then you can also have things like initial the last name, because when you have people that have extremely very long names, and of course the URL of the school is so long, right? So in this case, you can use initial, to differentiate them all basically. And also you can now have in a situation for students, you can have maybe a first name dot in their student ID, right? Basically. And you could have this so they could give you multiple, or you could do your last name dot the student ID, basically. So so when you're done creating, but let me stop here, let me go back. So if you want to create your users now, let me go back to the Google admin console, right? So to create your users, so let me go back to let me go back to the dashboard. So the dashboard here, you could actually see on the top, the second right here you have users. So I'm going to click on this to create users, right? So you can see this is the account, but for example, let's say I want to create a user under the faculty A that I created. You can see something here. You can see users for all the organization. You can see users for selected organizations, right? Then you can see select multiple. So it gives you the granularity to go in, right? So if I want to create users for this faculty, for example, maybe there's a department here. I'll just click faculty A. You can see the faculty A now, I could have the user I'm going to create now will go under this, so, and you could create all your students. Of course, not one after the other. You could do like a bulk upload since you already have your record in, Microsoft Excel or in the CSV format, so this helps you. So when you now need to apply policies, like if you want to enable certain apps for them or do things, once you have this kind of structure in place, it's going to really allow you, to manage things more efficiently, right? Basically. So, And for you to notify, the student at home, you could use, yes, SMS, email, or WhatsApp. It's very efficient. You just write a script or something that can help you automate the task, basically. So I just want to share some light on the difference between Google Classroom, and G Suite for Education before we go, So Classroom is a free service tool, for nonprofits and anyone with Google personal account, and the rest. But let me show us this before we move on. Like if you notice, I have on this page now. This is like my Gmail, right? You will see it here, So this is my Gmail, right? So if I come here and click on the Google Apps here and I scroll down, my point is this: you still find Google Classroom here. So you still have the ability to, use Google Classroom through the normal Gmail. But at the same time, also let me go to my, this is my other email now, and this one is for, yes, the Webmaster and Notify Academy, right? So if I go same to the Google Apps and I scroll down, you'll still see Classroom here. So what makes it different? Why would I have to move? Now, one of the things is if I go to, this is my Google Admin Console. So let me go to the home here, right, where we have everything. You can see reports right here, So let me take on it. So the idea is the one with the normal Gmail, you can have all the data analytics, the metrics, for you to be able to manage almost everything that is happening, And if it's an institution, or a college, you need to be able to monitor things, those that are logging in, audit logs, from time to time, records of a staff member, maybe communications, things while they were working with the school, or the institution, the account, the classes they've taken, all the, basically. So there's just so much things that, in terms of control, privacy, security, and the rest, you can achieve, that with the normal Gmail. But you could do that, once you are on the G Suite for Education, basically, So so that's what this is all about, and you can do it with both accounts, how you access it, and of course you can also access it using Classroom the Google account. And as I said, so it's good just for you to know that don't confuse the two, right? Classroom, you have Classroom on both, but you can also say that Classroom is also part of G Suite for Education. The suite is a collection of matching things, basically. So I actually just wanted us to debate that, but of course, since I think it's clear now, I want to thank us for the time to, wait and go through this. I hope this was really helpful, in a way. And of course, you should check out the Notify Academy from time to time, to see if there are actually resources that can help you to be more efficient and be valuable at your workplace. So thank you.